Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2014 Veterans Day celebration. I'm John Melrose. I'm the Placer County Veteran Service Officer. It's my honor to be your Master of Ceremonies today. First and foremost, we want to thank the volunteers, the participants, the committee that organized the parade to bring us all together to celebrate today. Without their incredible hard work, we would not be able to be here today to show our thanks. Veterans Day is a day to honor all veterans. And this Veterans Day, we're giving special recognition to our Merchant Marine veterans. The Merchant Marines served with the Navy during times of war. They suffered the highest casualty rate of any service in World War II and were finally recognized as veterans in 1988. That's right, they were not considered veterans for that entire period of time. It took a court case to grant them limited veterans benefits. But without the Merchant Marine, nothing in World War II or any of the wars after that would have moved across the ocean on the ships. So thank you very much, Merchant Marine. For the presentation of the colors. Present colors. The national anthem will be sung by Placer High School student Taylor Hart. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by the Merchant Marine veteran, Bob Europe.
This is a great honor for me. Before we begin this, however, I would like to tell you that the only veterans in the Merchant Marine here, official veterans, are from World War II. And we are still fighting with Congress to try to get veteran status for the boys who sailed in Korea and in Vietnam. And it hasn't happened yet, so if you can affect that in any way, we would very much appreciate it. Uniforms and veterans hand salute. All others, hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Retire the colors. Please be seated. Don Roby the American Legion Post 84 chaplain will give the invocation.
Would you stand, please, for the prayer? Dear Lord, today and every day, we honor our veterans, men and women who gave their best when they served to protect their country. Bless them for their unselfish service to preserve our freedoms and safety. Bless them for the hardships they faced, for the sacrifices they made for America's victories. In thy name we pray.
Now you can be seated.
Okay.
The Placer High School Golden Hillman Wind Ensemble will now play America the Beautiful. Thank you, Hillman. It's now my pleasure to introduce Auburn City Councilman Mike Holmes.
Well, it's my great pleasure to introduce Representative Tom McClintock. But before I do that, I just want to make a couple quick remarks about some basic facts about veterans in Placer County. We believe that there are about 31,000 veterans who live in Placer County. Recent statistics tell us that between Placer County and Nevada County, there are around 60 veterans who are homeless. And as many of you know, we are trying to make great strides in finding solutions for the economic stress that some of these veterans have been made homeless, and we will continue to do. Hello. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Anyway, and I just want to point out that Representative McClintock has been very supportive of veterans issues over the years. Recently, he conducted several open forums in various parts of the district, meeting with veterans groups to find out what was on their mind, what their concerns were. He's also supportive of the Veterans History Project, which some of you may have participated in, which is being conducted by the Library of Congress. Representative McClintock was first elected to the House in 2008, and this January his fourth term will be beginning. He is chair of the House Subcommittee on Water and Power and a member of the House Budget Committee. So please join me in welcoming Representative Tom McClintock.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Your presence here today speaks more eloquently of the gratitude and esteem with which our community holds our veterans on this Veterans Day than anything that can be said here. Thank each and every one of you for your presence here today. You know, the oath of the uniformed services that's taken by every living veteran in this country, including each and every one that we honor today, is clear and it is to the point. It is to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Now think about that. The oath that all of our armed services take is not to support and defend the United States of America. It's not to support and defend the United States government. It is to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And there's a reason for that. Because the American founders knew that if we ever lose our Constitution, we will already have lost our country. It's not the country that our veterans defended. We often talk about them defending our hearth and homes, our families and our loved ones, our freedom and our way of life. And indeed, they did defend all of those things. But those things, as precious as they are merely the fruits of the Constitution. Without the Constitution and the freedom that it protects, all of these other things are merely flub-dubs and baubles. We honor our veterans for defending our Constitution. That is the only oath that they took and that they upheld valiantly. It's the Constitution, that simple document owned by we the people, that animates the vision of governance that was promised in the Declaration of Independence, that established for all time a nation of laws and not of men, a republic in which every individual citizen has the freedom and the responsibility to make his or her own decisions, prosper according to his or her own enterprise and industry and talent. That is what our veterans defended abroad, and that is what each of us are honor-bound to defend here at home. The Constitution is the source of our prosperity and our moral and our martial strength. It's what makes America exceptional and what produced the happiest society and the most successful republic in the recorded history of mankind. It's the Constitution that offers what Lincoln called that last best hope of mankind on earth. The veterans we honor today protected our Constitution and all the fruit it bears from every threat from abroad that we have faced, as did the 8 generations of veterans who came before them. In doing so, they sacrificed irreplaceable years of their youth, postponed their careers, endured long separations from loved ones. Many sustained wounds. Many lost their lives. all to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And the question all of us must ask ourselves as we honor our veterans today is how worthy have each of us been as defenders of that same Constitution here at home? As they defended our Constitution from all enemies foreign, how well have each of us defended our Constitution from all enemies domestic? The American founders often referred to a liberty tree. I think it's an apt metaphor. Our generation didn't plant that tree. We didn't grow that tree. We were simply handed it by those who came before us. We accepted it and all of its blessings with the solemn obligation to care for it, to protect it, to nurture it, so that it can continue to bear the fruits of liberty for the generations that follow ours. So as we leave here today, let us join our veterans and commit ourselves to the same responsibility they accepted so honorably when they took the servicemen's oath, and for which we honor them here today. Let us highly resolve not to rest until we have delivered to our sons and daughters a liberty tree that is just as healthy, a Constitution that is just as strong, and a nation that is just as free as those that our fathers and mothers gave to us. As Daniel Webster said so long ago, hold fast, my friends, to the Constitution and to the republic for which it stands. For miracles do not cluster. And what has happened once in 6,000 years may not happen again. Hold fast to the Constitution, for if the American Republic should ever fail, there will be chaos throughout the world. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to our veterans.
Thank you, Congressman McClintock. It's now my pleasure to introduce Placer County Supervisor Jim Holmes.
First of all, I want to thank whoever put me behind Congressman McClintock, one of the greatest orators that the United States Congress has ever seen. Thank you for being here, Congressman. Well, thank you all for being here. This is an amazing turnout. This parade just gets better and better every year. And let me add my grateful thanks to all of our veterans, men and women, who have served our country during times of war, and those who have served and protected us during times of peace. Thanks also to all the families for the sacrifice and support they have given and who today are giving to their loved ones during their time of service. And today, let me particularly thank the often unsung heroes of our nation's conflicts throughout the history of our republic, the Merchant Marine. During 2 world wars, the Merchant Marine transported much-needed armaments and supplies to our allies across the world's oceans. Without their bravery, the triumph of freedom over tyranny could not have happened. And wartime records reveal that their losses were among the highest in all of our nation's conflicts. Let us always remember the important role the Merchant Marine plays in keeping the forces of freedom, furnishing the equipment and supplies needed to do our soldiers' jobs. And let us never forget the sacrifices that the Merchant Marines have made to protect freedom-loving peoples. May God bless the Merchant Marines, may God bless all veterans and their families, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor Holmes. The Wind Ensemble will now play Heave Ho, My Lads, Heave Ho, the Merchant Marine theme song, followed by the Armed Forces Salute. Please stand if you're able when your service song is played. Coast Guard. U.S. Marine Corps. U.S. Air Force. U.S. Navy. Well done, Hillman, well done. It is now my pleasure to introduce Auburn Mayor Bridget Powers.
I'm a little shorter than those guys. Yeah, thank you so much. That's a tough act to follow, and actually following Jim Holmes, because I just want to speak for him the same as thank you to all the Merchant Marines who we are honoring in a special way today, but also thank you to all our veterans for all you do to keep our country safe and our country free. My grandfather was a World War II veteran, my father a Korean War veteran, and my cousin was just sent away on his 5th tour of duty back to the Afghanistan area on his 5th tour as a Coast Guard. And I want to thank the community here in Auburn, because over his 5th tours of duty, the Operation Mom and all the veterans have been really supportive of my family personally and sending packages and letters. And so thank you for that. And also, again, thank you to all the veterans and all you do for our community. We have a lot happening for our veterans that we're going to honor. We have a Bud Anderson statue that's going to be put up at the Auburn Airport shortly. And of course, we have the oldest and best Veterans Parade, I believe, in the United States. So thank you for all you do, and God bless America.
Thank you, Bridget. I'm not going to move the microphone. I'll be here short. Speaking of short, Placer County Supervisor Jennifer Montgomery.
I think John Melrose just called me short, but he would be right, so I can't take it too personally. I am just absolutely overwhelmed by the turnout today. It is so just heartwarming to see so many of you here and to have seen so many people along the parade route. I don't have any prepared notes because, as most of you who know me know, I just generally tend to speak from my heart, and that's really what I want to do today. I want to thank all the service members who are here today, and I also want to thank their families and their spouses, because it is often very difficult to be a family member of someone who is serving in our armed forces. I have the privilege to have had a father, a brother, and a sister who served in the U.S. Army. I never served myself, but I know what they had to go through to provide service to this country, and I honor them. And as their family member, I honor the families of the service members who are here today. Now, the Merchant Marine is a really interesting institution here in the United States. I did a little bit of research when Bonnie said we were going to be talking about the Merchant Marine today. They interestingly predate both the U.S. Navy and the Coast Guard. And their first military action was in 1775 when they intercepted a British ship that was carrying lumber to build a British fort in the fight against the U.S. forces that were trying to become our own nation. And so the Merchant Marine have this incredible history that most of us are really truly not aware of. So I think the opportunity to both honor them and learn about them today is something really, really valuable. They also, interestingly, were co-educational for a very long time before some of the other armed services, though interestingly, the women who served in the Merchant Marine were, according to their website, waitresses and hairdressers and others along those lines. But I'm delighted to say that today they are, like all our armed forces, all our armed services, co-educational. Women serve in the Merchant Marine, and they serve a very interesting purpose in the commerce of our nation. During peacetime, they ferry freight and passengers around the world, but during wartime, they are brought in as a member of our armed forces to carry troops and materiel. And they are a critical link in service to us as a nation, but also to our troops that are out on the ground and on the seas. Without the Merchant Marine, we could not fight the battles that we have fought as a nation. So with that little bit of history lesson, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone here today. I really want to say thank you to the Merchant Marine, because we could not do it without them. God bless you all.
Well done, well done. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce the chairman of the Veterans Day Planning Committee, Cynthia Haynes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, it is an honor and a privilege to be the chairman of this parade, and today represents the 96th annual Auburn Veterans Day Parade, dating back to 1918. To all veterans, we say thank you for your sacrifices, your sense of duty, and for your service. Thank you very much from the bottom and the top of my heart and from everybody on our committee. As you can imagine, it takes a lot of time and talent to put an event like this together. I mean, a lot of it just comes together because we do it every year, but our committee works year-round on putting the parade together and doing fundraising so that every cent that we have contributed or fundraising event that we do goes directly to pay for this event. And I think it is a wonderful event because I don't think we could ever thank our veterans enough or the families that support them for giving us the freedom that we so well take for granted on many occasions. I'd like for you to please acknowledge our sponsors on the back of our program. Our Veterans Day Committee members, would you please stand or wave your hand? I know they're all very shy. They work all year on this program. Okay. I want to especially point out Roberta McGuinn back there. She is our parade director. She does an excellent job of keeping everybody in our committee and in this room in line. I can tell you that for sure. I would like to thank and acknowledge Shirley Paris from E.V. Kane School. Every year, her students put together all of the decorations in this room. They come the day before and put them all up. The students come in. And also, she has her students make the thank you notes that the students came around and handed out today. They're absolutely beautiful. And thank you, Shirley, for all of the volunteerism you do for this community. And of course, the Placer High School Band, led by David Lawrenson. Outstanding. We've had food servers working in the background. They're very quiet, but they started working. I was here at 8 o'clock this morning. They were cooking up those hot dogs. Where are those food servers? Where are you? Thank you. And in case you got one of those homemade chocolate chip cookies, you can thank the cookie man, Mr. Stephen Lease. Sponsors, because they really help pay for the medals that we hand out. And by the way, we have about 10 left, and I know there are a couple people that wanted them for disabled people and their families that couldn't make it here today. If you come up, it's pretty much first come, first serve. We have 10 left. And also, the beautiful certificates for our participants in the parade were created by Lee Lively. He puts them together every year. About 8 of our entries did not pick them up, and I do have those. I'm trying to take care of a little business here. So thank you, Lee, for those beautiful commemorative thank yous for being in the parade. They are absolutely lovely. Okay, our Platinum Star donors are American Legion, post number 84, Pacific Gas and Electric Company, USAA, and the Gold Country Fairgrounds. Fortunately for us, the Gold Country Fairgrounds allowed us to use this building today, so thank you very much to them. And last but not least is our annual program designer, Foster Graphics. I think they do a beautiful job every year in making a commemorative. There she is, Tony Foster's back there. We have started an annual brunch, and that's a Father's Day brunch, and we do that in coordination with the Auburn Elks Lodge. It's on Father's Day, so for many of you who do not wish to cook but wish to celebrate Father's Day, please check out the Elks Lodge. It helps us be able to afford the medals that we hand out today. So, thank you for attending today. God bless you, your families. God bless our troops, and God bless America, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Rear Admiral Bonnie Parda, U.S. Navy retired.
Well, thank you, John. And it's always great to get together on Veterans Day when we pay tribute to all the men and women who have served our country in uniform. And as you know, this year we're honoring the U.S. Merchant Marine. You've heard some of their history. Thank you for that, Jennifer, because they haven't been recognized as veterans except those that finally fought to get recognized who served in World War II. We also recognize and thank family members, as you've heard on Veterans Day, because we have mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, and they really have to sacrifice also to support the loved ones in their family members, the loved ones that miss all the family events, the ball games, the weddings, the funerals, the graduations. Frequently, an active duty member will be deployed, and it's the husband or wife that's shepherding the kids through the activities that they have without the other parent being present, and that's a big sacrifice. And so today I just want to say a few words about the family members. I'm going to start by recognizing 2 family members that are here today. If you've got your program with you, you'll notice that our Parade Grand Marshal this year, Bud Schmiedel, who served in the Merchant Marine in World War II and also served in the Coast Guard, he was so thrilled to be selected as our Parade Grand Marshal. He was so thrilled to know that the U.S. Merchant Marine was going to be recognized this year for Veterans Day, and he knew we were designing a special commemorative medal, and unfortunately he passed away in July. But we do have some of his family members here, so Mona and Kim, we have his wife and daughter. If you please stand up so we can say thank you. We know Bud is here with us, and he's smiling. I'd also like to recognize one person we don't usually pick people out of the crowd to recognize, but this one may be our oldest veteran. I don't know that for a fact because I haven't gone around and asked everybody older than me how old they are. But I happen to know that Doris Dennis, who's almost 97 years old and still fits in her uniform, is here with us today. I hope I look as good as you do when I'm your age, Doris. So I would also like to pay special tribute to the Blue and Gold Star family members here with us today. And often the question is asked, what is the meaning of the Blue or Gold Star? I go through this every year on Memorial Day and Veterans Day because it's an opportunity to educate people who are not familiar with the Blue Star and the Gold Star. These are terms that actually came into use during the early days of World War I. And of course, Veterans Day is on the armistice of World War I at the 11th hour, at the 11th month and the 11th day. Well, during World War I, we had people that created service flags, and they were used to show that a family member was serving on active duty. The flag was red with white with a red border, and it had a blue star in the center of the flag to represent each family member that was currently serving in the military. Well, as the war progressed and service members were killed in combat, a gold star was then sewn over the blue star, and the mothers of the slain service members came to be known as Gold Star mothers. During World War II, the practice of displaying the service flag with one or more blue stars and possibly one or more gold stars became much more widespread. And if you're not aware, that practice continues today, and frequently you'll see someone with the flag posted on their car or wearing a pin or some other symbol that represents the service members that have served and possibly have been killed. The blue star, for those currently serving, represents hope and pride, and the gold star represents sacrifice to the cause of liberty and freedom. Today, the Blue and Gold Star family members provide support for each other, and they also support our active duty forces, our veterans, and their families. So when you see a blue star flag or a gold star pin, please think about the uniformed men and women who are defending our freedoms today, those who have done so in the past, and those who have made the ultimate sacrifice while in service to this great nation. Would all of our Blue and Gold Star family members in the audience today please stand, or if you are standing, please wave and be recognized. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Admiral. It's now my pleasure to introduce Ken Blue, President of Sacramento Valley American Merchant Marine Veterans.
Thank you, John. I wasn't going to ad-lib. I can't resist. Forget the clouds. Hasn't it been a wonderful day? On behalf of my fellow veterans, I wish to thank the sponsors and volunteers that put on this parade today. And Cynthia, I think you covered the list pretty good. Thank you. I don't need to talk on that one. A special thanks goes to the parade committee for honoring we Merchant Marine veterans and for the medals they gave us here today. And thank you for selecting our friend Bud Schmidl as Grand Marshal. It was touching. I gotta turn the page. Last, I wish to thank you, the people of Auburn, for this great turnout. Thank you for your kindness and your cheers and applause along the way. I salute you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken. Please stand for the benediction, which will be given by Navy League Chaplain John Panu. After the benediction, taps will be played by Placer High School buglers Carly Jans and Ryan McKibben. During the playing of taps, we ask that you place your right hand over your heart. Fellow veterans may render a hand salute.
Tough to be small. Anyhow, 1 minute before we close, what I'd like to do is say a few words for the Merchant Marines. And that's the fact that, you know, they're the most unsung heroes that was ever around. You never hear them on TV. You don't see any big awards handed to them or nothing else. And they're just men, and they're the backbone of the war. They're the backbone of the Army, Navy, Marine Corps. If we didn't have those guys, we wouldn't have any bullets. So and they're at great risk. All of those ships, and I've seen them, they got a little, like a BB gun on the front of it to defend themselves. And then, of course, in any war, the thing is cut off the supply lines. And so the submarines loved them. And they took many, many losses. And I just wanted to say that I'm sure God loves you. And it's my pleasure to salute and thank you for a job well done. Amen.
Thank you for taking the time today to recognize our veterans. State Theater and THG Aviation will be honoring our veterans on Thursday, November 13th at 7 p.m. at the newly renovated State Theater. Following the presentation of the colors, the national anthem, and playing of the service songs, there will be a special showing of Monuments Men, and veterans will be admitted for free. The Veterans Day Planning Committee is organizing a family Father's Day breakfast for June 21st, 2015. We hope you will join us. Thank you. Have a great day.
Statement.